Are you guys ready to weeb out with me? I'm super stoked to go all animaniac with you guys, but before I do, I want to let you guys know this video is sponsored by RWBY.co. If you haven't checked out RWBY, you're missing out. RWBY offers tons of awesome shows from a bunch of different platforms. Need your Crunchyroll fix? You can get it right here on RWBY. Plus, you can get all the anime and shows Funimation has to offer too. You can even watch Rooster Teeth's RWBY straight from RWBY along with all their other sponsor-only content. RWBY brings together all the shows you want to see from a bunch of different platforms on one easy-to-use site. And they have everything from anime to comedy to cartoons and so much more. Click the link in the description to get a free trial. You won't be disappointed. I also want to let you guys know that every show I talk about today is available on RWBY, so you know where to find them. Now let's get into the anime. I don't know about you, but I've watched my fair share of beloved Japanese animation. Everything from super popular anime like Dragon Ball Super, Naruto, and Cowboy Bebop to older anime like Trigun and Bleach to magical girl anime like Madoka Magica have all passed through my pupil holes and into my brainium. And for the most part, I've loved each and every one of them. I've gone down that rabbit hole of watching Fairy Tail for 5 seasons straight, and you suddenly realize that you've missed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's something amazing about the genre that is just different than any other type of media. Anime has become a mainstream form of entertainment, and with this rise in popularity, American companies have started to take notice and create their own anime to fill the need for the growing weeaboo population. And with that growth of American anime, there is one show that stands out as completely different from the rest in both style and production. That show is RWBY. Whoa, hold up there, commenter. I know there's so many of you who are about to comment saying that RWBY isn't an anime. I'm of the opinion that anime has become more of a style than specifically referring to Japanese animation. Plus, its creator, Monty Ohm, categorized RWBY as an anime, and so I do too. To quote Monty, some believe just like Scotch needs to be made in Scotland, an American company can't make anime. I think that's a narrow way of seeing it. Anime is an art form, and to say that only one country can make this art is wrong. I completely agree with him. In case you don't know, RWBY is an American-made anime web series that is created by Rooster Teeth, an internet entertainment company. They're probably most well known for the machinima series Red vs. Blue, but in the last few years they began producing their first original IP, RWBY. RWBY is so different from the Japanese anime I've come to know and love, yet it also shares many similarities. And now RWBY is the first anime to be exported from America to Japan, a major accomplishment for American anime. What is it about RWBY that makes it so loved not just in its country of origin, but also where the art of anime was first created? Is it the similarities it shares with Japanese anime, or is it the refreshing divergence RWBY takes from the anime formula? To figure that out, let's go over just what RWBY copies from its Japanese ancestors and what it rebels against. Let's start with what's the samesies. RWBY is chock full of every anime trope you could ever want. I mean, just look at all these tropes that RWBY shares with one of my other favorite animes, Fairy Tail. Both have an amazing way above average fighter, Pyrrha and Urza. Both have ancestral weapons. Natsu has his Dragon Slayer magic he learned from Igneal. Jean has his sword and shield that belonged to his great-grandfather. Both have characters that are animals. Catchphrases for characters.
I'm fired up!
I'm combat ready.
Specialized insignia, limited magical power that depletes throughout fights. I could go on and on, but needless to say, anime fans who want to give RWBY a try will find many of the same tropes that you'd find by watching too much Fairy Tail or Sword Art Online or any number of other animes. I mean, doesn't RWBY and her scythe remind you just a little bit of Maka from Soul Eater? Sure, Maka's scythe doesn't turn into a sniper rifle, but you get the idea. RWBY has all the main qualities that make anime what it is. It makes you laugh and it hits you with the feels. All these similarities make RWBY accessible to fans of OG anime, and I think that can only be a good thing. Rarely have American anime been able to gain a strong following like their Japanese brethren, and I think the main reason RWBY has been successful is because it shares so many similarities to other beloved Japanese animes while bringing something completely unique to the table. What I'm talking about here isn't the lack of fan service. Despite limited panty shots compared to the many upskirts and jiggle physics found in other anime, RWBY is made completely differently than your run-of-the-mill Japanese animation. The animation software used to make series like Fullmetal Alchemist or Attack on Titan are still very much a frame-by-frame project. This is extremely time-consuming and creates the need for large animation teams to work on those series. RWBY, on the other hand, uses software that is much closer to how video game cinematics are created. The animators create 3D models of the characters, weapons, environment, and anything else they need, and then record their movements through the virtual equivalent of a camera. This decision to choose this style of animation isn't really surprising, considering Rooster Teeth's experience with machinima from their Red Red vs. Blue series. Creating animation this way saves Rooster Teeth from needing to draw out every second 30 times, which keeps their animation team small, costs down, and allows them to produce shows like RWBY that would have required the resources of a much larger studio. Of course, this creates a difference in animation style. RWBY has a toon-shaded 3D look to it compared to the more generic anime style that we know. It's a big difference, and one that I wasn't personally fond of when I first saw it. But I'm totally fine with it now because it gives the animators the ability to make insanely detailed fight scenes and character movement through motion capture. This is one of the big limitations on Japanese anime as a whole. The fight scenes, while cool and tension building, for the most part are pretty simple. Just take a look at this clip from Dragon Ball Super. On the surface, this animation looks complex and cool. Vegeta is moving around, flipping, shooting balls of energy. But compare it to this. There's just so much detail that Rooster Teeth can capture by using a different style of animation. If you really look at Vegeta, he's actually moving quite slowly on the screen. That's because animating his attacks takes so much time, so less movement is better for the animators overall. Now take a look at how fast Crow and Winter are moving. It's the same reason why when one character is talking and the devil is a part-timer, you don't see the other characters moving. That would require more animation. But in RWBY, when Ruby and Crow are talking, you can still see both character models are never still. It's a pretty big difference when you're looking specifically for it. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, merely that they are different. And in a genre filled with the same animation, this difference can be refreshing. So what we really have in RWBY is the spirit of true anime masked in a style that is completely new and unique. And I have a feeling we're going to start seeing more and more of this style because it is faster and easier to create. I'm not saying that the shonen animes that I love are going to become extinct, but I think we may be at the cusp of a new age in anime, a time where small studios can make something miraculous. Just think about what happened in gaming. Games used to only be created by massive companies because the technology needed to create a game required so many people that a small studio just didn't have the budget to do. But as technology improved, smaller groups began creating extraordinary games. One-man teams created the masterpieces that are Undertale and Minecraft. We could be seeing the same thing happen in anime. And if that's true, I'm beyond excited because some of the best games of the past decade have been indie games. And I'm willing to bet that some of the best animes we'll see in the future will be indie animes. And if I'm right about this, I can't wait to see what independent anime creators come up with. BT Dubs, did you notice how much of a weeb I am? I mentioned 15 different shows that are all available on VRV, and that's not even close to all of them. Honestly, VRV is an amazing deal for anyone who loves anime, but they have so much more besides that for you to check out too. I have their combo package that includes every channel they have, and now I watch way too much TV. I didn't know I needed VRV till I tried it out, and I bet the same thing will happen to you. So click the link in the description and start your free trial. Let us know what you think of it. I'm personally extremely excited because they have Assassination Classroom, which I've been wanting to watch for months now. I hope you guys enjoy the site as much as I do, and thanks for supporting our sponsor and in turn supporting us. You guys are amazing, and I'll see you in a few days.